Okay, let's talk about names. There are a whole bunch of names on the wall, on the dial of the lighthouse. I think the names refer to the last names of people at birth, and I'm not sure that they necessarily refer directly to a person. They're part of the game bet that Men in Black and Jacob are engaged in. And Shepard might just as easily refer to Christian Shepard as to Jack Shepard. Um, Along these lines, 108 is an important number, and that's Wallace. So, a lot of this stuff is not stuff that comes just from me. You can see it all online and figure it out for yourself. But there's a chance we don't really know anything about Desmond's past. So there's a chance that Desmond was not born a Hume. He was maybe born a Wallace. And we've heard stories about his brothers and his childhood. We don't see his childhood. We only know about Desmond is that he's the one who really tries to make the best decision, the right decision, and he's also the one who doesn't let the ideology of fate or um, you know circumstance. He doesn't let any ideology get in the way. He just kind of sees things, tries to see them for what they are, and it's quite successful. I mean, when the time traveling thing starts, I mean, some people go crazy. He's like, oh, okay, I find my constant, then I can make it through this. And it's because he doesn't have beliefs about the way the world is supposed to work, much like David Hume himself, that Desmond is able to be so successful at doing what he does. In fact, that's why he's able to break into the consciousness of the sideways world, because I think unlike Jacob, who can only see time during his lifetime, um, he only see into the future while there's some essence of him left, some ashes still. I think Desmond can see beyond the end. He sees into the light beyond the end of everything, and he knows that there's a better thing beyond, which is why at the end he tells Jack, none of this matters. There's this battle between light and dark, good and evil, selfishness versus love. There's this battle going on, but it doesn't matter because in the end we all get to go into the love. We all get to go into the light, and Desmond was hoping to do it sooner by unplugging that hole. Um, so names. There's a lot of people with different names changing their names. Um, if you look at, if you imagine that Kate is Annie, then Kate went by Annie for a while, didn't have a last name if it was her back then. And then the first time she's asked that we see, she's asked her name while she's on the run by that Australian farmer. She gives the name Annie, which is her middle name also. So names are really important um, because lots of people have more than one name, and there are some names that refer to more than one person. I think it's kind of like a a smokescreen, so to speak. A lot of time, what the producers do is you think to yourself, maybe it's working like this, and then you go and you find two or three counterexamples as well as one possible example, maybe another sort of half example, and so you're like two or three counterexamples, forget it. But we've seen often that just because the one principle happens over here one time doesn't mean that that principle applies to every instance of what was going on. Also, people change their mind, like Widmore. Widmore was pretty much a force for, I mean, he was a force for good in the sense that he wanted to murder everyone on the island, take Ben off, and make sure that that would, definitely make sure that the smoke monster had no one to use to kill the candidates or to get off, assuming that all the candidates weren't there. Um, but in any case, Widmore, his intentions weren't that good before, or he didn't really know what was going on. And Jacob came to visit him, and at the end, Widmore was on Team Jacob. At least we imagine he was. So, um, yeah, hair's getting